Okay guys, this is part 4. I have the camera zoomed into this part of his jaw with all the fur that's there. I've laid in a little darkness. I'm working on this besides on the videos. I'm working on it off camera too, or I would have so much trouble because of blocking it and stuff. So anyway, I've whitened the gun. I've established some darkness in here. So now what I want to do is build up some individual white strands of fur over the dark. Like I said, when you're working on the, say, chrome wheels, you have to have a base to work off of. Obviously, if you have a white t-shirt and you start spraying white, you're not going to get too much done. You can go both ways with the dagger stroke. I'm not worried if I go too far because it can back and forth with the airbrush. It's freehand as opposed to, say, working with the micron and getting in tight with the stencils and stuff. I can do that with the shields, but if you get the airbrush swinging, you can get your strokes to look good. And just got to second coat the white a lot of times. So right in here, I'm going to kind of build up, almost looks like a leaf, the shape that I'm looking at. And this one over here. Individual strands, just second coat it, go over the same spot, air dry it, go back over it. If you stay locked and loaded, as I say, you got your hand in position and you're just kind of going, you can really and truly just hit the same spot over and over again. Just right there. My motion is locked and loaded and it goes right in. So that's how I describe it. Let's bring some white fur. We want the tip point down here. So I'm going to just air on and no paint, and then get a little bit of action going. Okay, so you see that. In here, there's a lot of small ones. I got to stay in close. I hope you can see all these little baby ones. I see a very, very strong one right coming off this one. It's very skinny too. I'm going to try for it, freehand. What I have to remember too is what's skinny in my reference picture, which is super small, probably, maybe a 5x7. This is so much bigger, so the strand actually can be thicker. I'm going to second coat that a little. If you move quick enough, you'll have a, you won't wiggle. Okay. Bring that one across that way. And I'm just kind of leaning back looking. I got a nice skinny one in here. I'm going to just go for it. I don't want to get it too fat. Some are lighter, some are stronger highlights. Got pieces like this coming out. One here, so you see darks, lights. They're all, some of them are close in value too. So let's see, coming up. I'm going to go this way. Right here. Hook it in that way a little bit. And let's see, we got some going in a direction like this. Individual, I'm even doing my own thing here. I'm looking at a reference, but it's now here I don't want that, so I'll just take it out with the white. Got to be careful with the white because it can get very cement-like as far as layer after layer. But I don't do the t-shirts like I say all the time. I just I don't have the heat press. I don't. I enjoy the fine art more. I really do like to work on this size though. So maybe I'll buy clayboard that's bigger or start working on canvases because it really is a pleasure to work on larger sizes. I mean, you do a lot more freehand stuff like these dagger strokes and stuff. They just start working because it's so much different than those probably 14 by 16s or 10 by 16s. I don't know what the size is of my little paintings, but they're small. Like I said, go back over the same stroke. It gets brighter. Some strokes are going this way. And I want you to be able to see that one. I want to see it. I want to see the like windblown hair, you know, looking. He lives out there and probably out in the wind, and I'm sure he doesn't have a comb. Okay. So there's another one cutting through the darker bluish greens. I'm going to try to do some little fine ones in here going different ways. Crossing over. I set the pattern, so now I'm going to go back over. That one's a bit too fat, but there we go. You stay in tight. So you got to stay in very close to keep them skinny. So I pulled out a little bit on this one, and that's all right. I can make this whole area a little wider, as if it's a cluster. Think in terms of that when you're doing hair or fur. Think of darks and lights and sculpting and shaping. To do the individual hairs, there's really a lot of solid areas. But anyway, just watch and see how I treat it. Go over this area, I'm going to go this way. You're almost touching the t-shirt. You're in very close. I mean, I've seen people use microns for the finest details. I don't want to put this paint in my micron right now, this wicked paint. Just don't feel like it. Alright, so what do we got here? Some little guys. 1, 2, cut right through there. So now you can see that by having the darkness, I can establish all the whites I want and go inside the center of this one, break it up. When you really get going, you can almost do double-sided dagger strokes. Can't show you here. I'm sitting down on a stool. Like I said, I don't have the oil painter type easel where I could, you know, if you were here in the classroom or something, you could look in from the sides, and that's how I like my students to kind of look from, you know, the angles, and they can see what I'm doing, because I need to stand in front of my work. Let's try a whisker. I don't know if that's even in the picture here. Try one. You got to go after that tip dry. All right. I got to be careful here because I'm not in the right angle for that. So I just feel I'm good for this angle, for here. A couple baby ones down here, cutting right through the darkness. One. Good. So now you're getting a pattern of fluffiness, like, you know. Then I see like a lighter area, so I could soften this to spray it in completely, like bigger areas, clusters. Think in terms of, because what's happening in the picture is he's getting light in here. Let me sit back down. And he's getting kind of like a highlights hitting somewhere in this area. Okay, so you can see it's brighter there now, and darker down here. So the highlights are like, you know, like you're spraying the sky. You just soft feather strokes, and just like you're painting, whether you're doing gradation or sky, you just want to have that further away, soft spray. So this is how I go about it. I mean, let's put a wiggly one in so you can see like one going against the grain here. Let's do this one right here. So you change the direction of it. That was a little too fat. Now remember, it's back and forth. I'm going to go back in here with the darkness, and I think I'll probably end the video with that kind of a demonstration, so you can see. Once you practice this, you'll just get better and better. Brighten this one up right here. Same spot. Some of them can stand out very brightly, like this one. Back and forth. So some are fatter. Like I said, the ones that are like that are clusters and stuff. Get that airbrush swinging. That's just a big fat dagger stroke there. All right, so I'm going to cut back in now with the gray and just do a little bit more sharpening up. And then I'm going to go on and make a different video later of doing the fur. As you can see, I think you can see it. No, you don't. I'll show you before I close. I worked on the nose area, but I'll show you in another video. It's kind of boring, but you need to see a little bit of it so that you can understand how I went about it. Okay, so where is my gray? There we go. Okay. Now, I'm just going to the side. I'm testing out here. Now, my gray is a little extra white right now because of I didn't clean the gun out, and that's good because I want. It got dark quick. Just spray it like that's the beauty of the airbrush, though. The airbrush, you can spray in one spot and just add, or subtract. Not subtract. You're adding color, but you're in control. It's not like you just have a 6B or an 8B pencil and you just, you can gradate it in and build in. Now that's some of the grayer hairs coming out. Up here, probably work on this area more off the camera because these guys are real little ones in here. Let me do some down here. Going back in and looking at the shapes I already made, and I'm reestablishing darks. Making that skinny again. There, like that. And I don't want to get too dark. I'm looking at the reference picture, and I have some areas over here that I'm going to be working on. Let's just do a little more. So that's how I would go back and forth. That's how you go about it. I'm even going to go back to the black and, I always use the word tweak it, get it to be real fine. So you can see how the hairs are showing up now. Get some little ones down here. And it gets pretty dark down here, so I'll just kind of fire it in. Hair's on the whole time. That allows you to do back and forth. Hair on, always. Paint on, paint off. Okay. Whoops, that's called crashing because I'm very close to the surface. Nothing's happened though. Come back here with these sharper strokes. So it's back and forth, the white, all the different colors, till you get what you want. All right, so I'm going to show you. Let me just darken this in here. All right, that's good for now. You get the idea. And I'm going to zoom out and show you a little bit of what I worked on besides that. Okay. So let me tilt the camera up and zoom back in. If you look at the nose, you'll see the way I'm working the fur. And now I've done a little more color to his eyes, more blue and stuff. I don't know, like I said, this is a little more fantasy looking, you know. So there he is. All right. So I will see you on the next video, and I'll be working on that fur that you saw on his nose and little things like that. It won't be real long videos because there's only so much you can do, you know. It's repeat. So you just pay attention when you try to practice this on your own. Do the same thing. You don't even have to paint a lion. Just get an old t-shirt and try to paint that bearded area that I just did. All right, so that you can just practice, you know. Okay, I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for looking. Don't forget to share if you like these videos. Subscribe and share so other artists that are just learning can get on board and see it and join up with me. And I'll see you guys later. Take care.